What's up? Figured I'd show the new upgrade I did. Threw on some breakaways. It's pretty good, man. I like that you can adjust the throw of them. That's nice because I have big ass hands. It's nice to be able to reach out and not have it hit. Oh yeah, the grips. Finally put those things on because I was waiting to do the levers. Yeah, I got a bunch of other shit. I finally did the outerwears. Outerwears shock, thanks to the dude that recommended it. Jesse Kirkus or whatever. He said, gave me the link for that, picked it up. Pretty sweet, keeps the shock looking nice. Tried putting on one of these. It's supposed to be quieter because that big gun is loud as hell, man. When I go on the trails, it's so loud. Tried putting this on, sounded like ass. It was even louder, I swear. It didn't even help. But anyway, classic Japanese bike trick. I'm gonna have to go through the whole thing and do this. I highly recommend it if you got a pit bike, Chinese pit bike I should say. Put your thread locker on. But the other thing I'm gonna do tomorrow, I'm kind of lazy today. Did a few things, now I'm just lazy. I went to a 17 tooth, I can't even see it in there, but 17 tooth sprocket in the front. I want to throw this 34 in the back. I think it's a 34. Oh, 35, that's all I could get. But the 35-17 is supposed to be a heck of a lot faster. And of course, I've had bikes since I was a kid. Gonna get a nice chain to go with it because you don't want to change the sprocket and not do the chain because they kind of mate together. So if you do one and not the other, you're gonna set yourself up for shark fin skipping. So always do them all together. But anyway, and then tomorrow the other one, which I'll post the update for, which I'm sure you can already tell what this is. I'm sick of not being able to adjust the idle air screw and the fuel mixture. I mean, all the bikes I ever had my whole life, you could adjust the fuel mixture. Can't do it on these stock, sorry about this, stock shitty carbs. So grab myself a nibby so I can at least have some real bike adjustment. You know, I want to change it. I still think it's running lean. I think these bikes tend to run lean from the factory, and I'm just not a fan of that. I don't like when I'm sitting, you know, and you first give it a little flick, like a quick flick, and it'll just bog for a second. So hopefully once I throw this thing in there, I should be able to dial that out. But I'll show the whole video of putting this thing in and stuff. I know some people like that shit. There's a decent amount out there, but I'll do it anyway in case someone's watching and wants to see it. But so tomorrow we'll do sprockets, chain, that thing, and then see if we can get a top speed on this thing. Supposedly with that combination of those two sprockets, I should be able to get it up to closer to, I think, 60, or right around 60, 59. That'd be pretty sweet. I feel like I'm just missing that little bit of extra oomph. This one was a pain in the ass. Problem with these pit bikes, you know how slow it is going back? I actually had to go in and there was like tabs on both sides where it compresses. I had to grind them down because it was binding, and I might have to do a little more. I mean, it's not dragging the brake, but I don't like that it's got that little extra that's not quite going back. So I don't have a grinding wheel here. My father does. I'll go over to my pops' place and I'll take this thing back off and I'll probably put it on the grinding wheel and just clean it down a little bit so it's got more space. But it's not dragging, so I don't even use my front brake anyway. It's more cosmetic. I mean, does anybody use a front brake? I'm not racing, so typically I just downshift and hit the brakes. But new wheels are on. Brandy new. Took them out for their first ride. They were way better because basically the bearings in here were pretty sloppy. I had it all tightened up and running nice, but figured, you know, for the price of these things, you're gonna spend 40 bucks on a tire. Why not just spend 70 bucks or 80 bucks, whatever, $79, and just get the whole thing? So I got new brake pads in the back, which I really can't show you, but maybe I can. But I don't know if you can see them in there. Threw some new brake pads in, way better. Basically, when I don't know how it was working, when I put these wheels in, the inside pad, because it just sits in a groove, just fell on the ground. Then when I tried to get it to stay in there, there's no way, because there's no retainer clip. It basically uses this stupid little metal clip right here as a slide, and it sits kind of on it. And if that wears out too much, it was just hanging on by hopes and dreams. I mean, there was just a worn groove on top that was sitting on the old rotor, but the aftermarket wheels I bought had a slightly different shaped rotor. Pad wouldn't sit on it anymore. It just kept falling out. So anyway, yeah, brand new tires, wheels, whole thing. Of course, I put the old sprocket on because I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to put a brand new sprocket with a shitty old chain. So anyway, I'm running the old sprocket, same chain. Had that little chain tensioner thing on there, or chain guard, more or less, to save your sprocket, I guess. But the only thing I'm going to do is change that wheel, and I have a new slider too. This slider is like, look at it, it's just sitting in there.
Problem is though, I don't have I got my chain, well, it's not tight, but you know what I'm saying. I don't have a lot of play left, room, then I don't want to keep messing with it. So I'm gonna wait and just do the slider, sprockets up in there, and all that stuff together, and then I can play with my adjustments back here. I reset it so that it's tight against the plate, and it's pretty good. I did use the new bolts because the previous guy I got this bike from, because again, I didn't get this brand new, so the previous guy, these bolt heads were all beat up and worn out from chains jumping off and hitting it. So I put the new bolts that came with the wheel back in, and of course I did not thread lock them because cares, fuck it, right? Anyway, I figure I'll do that when I put all this stuff on. But yeah, I like my outer wears. Looks nice. Keep it clean. You know, little stuff. These things are cheap. Pretty fun. I mean, cheap to some, I guess. I mean, I understand, you know, everybody's hurting these time of days, but cheap to me, man. I don't know. But yeah, so the only thing I'm waiting on now from T-Bolt, from these guys here who sent me something. I don't even remember what the hell I got from them. Might have been that outer wears. I think that's where that came from. I got the spacers to go in here. I should get those probably tomorrow or the next day. Luckily, T-Bolt is super fast, so I'm going to put the shock spacer in there and throw in a heavier weight oil, and that should give me a nice firm shock so I can keep running these things, because aftermarket ones for the whole front end is kind of getting into big bucks. I'm not going to spend $500-600 on a shock for a bike that I paid that for. So anyway, but yeah, I like my little breakaway levers. I already dropped it a few times screwing around, and it was destined to happen. I was going to bust one of these things. So, but actually the clutch one's the only one I really care about, because it's these, I don't know if you know, but these kickstands are a nightmare. These things, like, I don't know, watch, like when you lift it up, it's like every time you put it down, you got to kick this out. And then if you're not in gear and on solid ground, the bike just falls over all the time. And it fell on this lever a billion times. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to get the breakaways. And so I finally put them on with the grips. So looking pretty good. So tomorrow, Nibby. Can't wait to put this thing in. Not only does it look cool, but man, I'll be psyched to be able to adjust the settings, you know, quick and on the fly, so I can really dial this carburetor in. Because I know there's a little more in this bike, and I'll find it. Trust me, I will find it. And if not, I'm just, like I said, this winter I'm going to go with a bigger motor. But whatever I got to do, I will find the top of this thing. If I could get this thing to 60, that would be perfect. I'd be super happy. I don't expect to get much more out of it without getting a huge motor, but 60 would be mint for this size. And then, I don't know, we'll go with that 150 soon. But I'm having fun. So we got new wheels, shock cover, levers, brakes, and that's kind of where we're at for now, I guess. Like I said, I failed on the muffler. Tried to get rid of this loud-ass pipe and picked up an even louder ass pipe. So believe it or not, like an idiot, I've got another one showing up tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be crap too, but whatever. Like, they're like 30 bucks, so I mean, screw it, I'll just keep trying. I'll find something. I might just get like a Honda CRF, like stock one, and try to make it fit, because yeah, I gotta shut this thing up a bit, or I'm just gonna get myself in trouble. This thing literally sounds like a 450. It's ridiculous. My father, I was riding over his property. He's got a lot of acreage. I was way out in the woods, like 2 miles in the woods. He said he heard me the entire time. I was like, oh. So yeah, that's my next thing. Carb, sprockets and chain, and shut this thing up. But anyway, if you've got any questions or anything, or any links to any of this garbage I'm buying or whatever, just shoot something, a comment in there. I'll reply right away and let you guys know where I'm getting this stuff. Most of it's Amazon, which is pretty easy, and a few things from T-Bolt, and then a little bit of eBay. But yeah, man, if you got any questions, feel free to ask, and hope you guys have got a pit bike and having a good time. All right, peace.